Adhlal and W3 bundle forces to empower the youngest of Saudi Arabia as creative future designers, as change makers, in a safe platform which is enabled by Web3 technology and digital identity to build a creative society recognized by all. And using design thinking to equip young people with future skills such as critical thinking, collaboration, creative problem solving. We would like to give them the ownership for the future and help them to address real world challenges. Web3 and digital identity systems are revolutionizing how the next generation is engaging with the digital world and providing them with unprecedented ownership and agency.
I first want to say, you mentioned an ever-changing world, a fast-changing world, and specifically within Vision 2030, and in Saudi in particular, the changes are breathtaking, I think, is the word to use, because things are moving so fast. And in a country where 60-70% of the population is under 30, we have a large chunk of our population who are youth.
As key areas that we work in and around. So one major challenge that youth face is access to opportunities. So access to opportunities to uplift themselves in different industries. And so what we've done at SYS, Saudi Society, is work on bridging young people with such opportunities, whether it's in the fields that we work on or their fields of passion.
And that has to be done through capacity building, capacity strengthening, which means that we need to see more investment from government, but also from the private sector, channeled into these sort of elements of capacity building.
I think one of the biggest challenges that are facing the youth here is just not having any digital literacy around the importance of, or around your rights, and giving other people the freedom to your private information, basically. So Web3 is a new step for everybody to have autonomy over their own identity, over everything that they own. The issue that we're facing with youth is, as Ishan said, that young people don't have a decision, they don't have the decision-making capacity. So we are constantly, as parents, as educators, as schools, taking their information and using it without their awareness of this. It's not even a discussion that I think children or students are having now. We have the opportunity of, creating NFTs for educational content. So we have ownership over the curriculums that we're creating. And then this child, wherever they're moving in the system, has their own file, which is specific to them, which has all of their information, which could work as an advocate for this child and making sure that they've reached milestones, that, So this is the exciting part of Web3.
For instance, you can publicly claim ownership over having said something for the first time or having created something for the first time, which is highly valuable. But you run into privacy problems very quickly because information is accessible to everyone. And this is why now, when we are discussing all of the digital identity systems, we can benefit from a lot of the solutions that have been built on top of blockchain to solve the privacy problems there, because there they are most difficult to solve.
We heard a lot about digital identities and also, okay, what does that mean now in terms of business? And actually, I would like to do a step back, right? So if we look to the technology development, so probably we all agree that the internet is probably one of the biggest game changer innovation and technology wise that we face in our society. But the point is, and I think that's one of the biggest challenges of the web in general, that from a conceptual perspective, the trust layer is not there. So the trust layer is missing. So in the end, you never know exactly who is behind the screen. Trust in general is, from my point of view, one of the key challenges of a digital society, to ensure that we know with whom do we interact in the digital world. So to be possible to have a transaction in a trustful manner, there are usually three elements very important. So the first one is identity. The second thing is integrity. So, and last but not least, it's the third element, it's the liability.
I can speak from my personal point of view in Saudi as a creative and the creative economy, or the creative society there. The youth's ability to innovate, to really think outside the box, to really come up with ideas that work for them are essential. And this, to me, this tool, Web3, and the way that we're talking about it, both through education and empowerment as well, I think is essential.
And I think that's the great potential of Web3, to enable these trust elements, that we have the sovereignty back to the people, the privacy back to the people, and the control about the data.
I think there should be a standalone curriculum for digital literacy, for, learning this new world. There's a group of people who would like to go back to the way things were and not have everything be so open, because it is very scary. And that's where listening to, Andreas say that he's digitizing trust makes, me very, very happy, because as a parent and even as an adult, this feels like where it should be going, and this feels like the positive aspect of, you are no longer anonymous, you have your privacy, but you do not have your anonymity in order to make, it just will regulate and help keep the safe, trusted space.
And following up on that, I think what we also want to build is an ecosystem, is a space for the next generation, for the young people, to have this trusted space, to have this space where they are free to think beyond borders, where they have no limitations, and where they also can express themselves without the fear of being judged, the fear of being maybe punished or so.
And while users often state that they have privacy and security concerns, in the end, when time matters and they are in their daily lives, usually they fall back to their usual habits. And then what matters is convenience and speed. And so what we need to make sure is we need to design a system which offers great privacy and great security.
We created the perspective of where technology may be able to help and empower the youth in their development. That's relevant probably in many geographies of the world. We took it to Saudi Arabia as a use case because of the unique challenges that we have here as well. The large population that is dominated by young people in society. It's amazing to see those statistics recently again published on that as well. And that comes with opportunities, challenges, but also opportunities. Mm-hmm. So as Adhlal, and I think also as W3FF venture builders, we are taking that as a challenge. And in the coming period, we are going to look at how can we do something that empowers the youth in developing their creativity for a future, but do it in a way where we can benefit the technology of Web3, of that very critical thing of owning your own identity and your own information, be trusted, but also I think it was Princess Besma who mentioned it, that you can carry your credentials also into the future and you can benefit from it later in life when you actually want to leverage them. I hope that the audience really enjoyed this 1 hour of being with us. Keep an eye on our LinkedIn channels and our social media channels.